Prepare to get gas, because it's time for the Week in Gear. This week, we finally get news of the Line 6 Helix 2, Fender Mod A70 Strat, and a simply super amp company go all high-tech and geeky. This episode is sponsored by the subscribe button, as I would love to get the channel to about 200,000 by the end of the year. But I also want to let you know how you can win this Fender Strat for a $5. More about that in a bit, so stick around. Now, let's kick off this week's 5 most exciting guitar gear releases with a new Gibson Les Paul that is actually different. Yes, a Les Paul, or a Les Paul if you're from America. But it's acoustic. Yep, Gibson have flipped the script. I think that's what people say these days. Anyway, meet the Gibson Les Paul Parlor Acoustic, a compact acoustic guitar that looks a little bit like a Les Paul if it went on a strict diet of donuts and, well, more donuts. This features a book-matched AAA flame maple top, solid mahogany back and sides, mahogany neck with a bound rosewood fretboard, pearloid trapezoid inlays, Grover tuners, and an LR Baggs VTC +4 pickup. +4 because you can get 4 more dB out of this. It's available in vintage Sunburst and vintage Cherry Sunburst, and it's going to set you back around 4,000 notes. Yikes. This is clearly an acoustic built for LP lovers or rich songwriters or anyone who isn't big enough to pull off an SJ200, because to me that's what it looks like. A mini SJ200 with a cutaway. And I kind of dig it, but that price point is a bit too ouch. Actually, I was talking to Victor, the editor of the show. Hello, Victor. And we agreed that Gibson have missed the opportunity here to create a gold top version of this, which would be super gas inducing. This is the kind of guitar that I was talking about when I reviewed the Baum Guitars Leaper Melody Vega recently. With this Gibson, you are paying extra for something that's special and not another knocked out electric Les Paul that can just be CNC'd. It's a bit more work because it's a new shape, or kind of new. They've done it before. However, there's a fair amount of those 4,000 notes paying for the name on the headstock. Now, I can see that this guitar is going to appeal to a certain demographic, but for me, I would walk straight past it to get to a really good old J45 or something that offers more value for money, like that Baum guitar, for example. And for that reason, the Gibson Les Paul Parlor Acoustic barely makes it onto the borrow it on the gasometer. If you disagree, please let me know in the comments. If you're Gibson, please let me know in the comments. Do you want to sound like Krung Bin without summoning a spaceship? Well, Fender has just released Mark Speer's limited edition signature Strat. And actually, judging by the look of confusion on your face, do you want to know who or what Krung Bin might have been? Yeah, that's a better question. Krung Bin, I think I'm saying that right, is a surfy, funky, soul-y, psychedelic mix of mostly clean tone instrumental guitar music. And it sounds like you're driving with the top down on a long open road in the sunshine. I dig it. Anyway, back to the guitar. It's a 70s style Strat with an ash body in an aged natural finish. The maple neck is a custom C profile, hopefully not modern C, with a 7¼ inch radius maple fretboard and 21 jumbo frets. Where it gets more interesting is that it has Damasio Pro Track pickups in the bridge and neck, and the original 70, well, no, I say original, based on the one that this is based on, a 70s Strat pickup in the middle position, with the 4th position wide out of phase, because Mark did his the wrong way round or something. It's in the release video. Anyway, upping the modded 70s Strat specs, it comes with Graphtec saddles, Graphtec string trees, which remind me of the powerful desire to stop breaking strings because strings are expensive. That's why I had them on mine, or still do, on my Strat. Finally, it comes with flatwound strings, which has possibly the biggest effect on the sound. Controversial? Yeah, is coming in at around 1,500 notes, and it's made in Mexico. And on the one hand, it's just another Strat. On the other hand, at least this is an interesting Strat. Now, I'm not jumping out of my seat to buy this, but I do think it's very cool. And if I could grow my hair like Mark, I would be more than happy picking up one of these. So the gasometer is kind of stuck at borrow it for me, but that might change if I was ever to have one in my hand and find out what that C profile really is. And for the player who has a decent normal Strat, this is something fun. However, I am more likely to mod a Squier Classic vibe than to buy this, to be honest. So, from a 70s Strat to a modern day Strat, let's talk about how you can get my Strat for a $5. How would you like to own my Fender Strat for just £5? It's real, it's true, it's not a dodgy internet scam, I promise. I'm always trying to find new and fun ways to bring you the week in gear, and I found this website where you can hold raffles. So you can buy a ticket for £5 and be in with the chance of getting this actual Strat that I put on the channel and use very, very regularly. I love this Strat. It sounds great and the color is absolutely gorgeous, but it is time to move it on, and I think one of you should have it. And as a thanks to you as viewers of the Week in Gear, I've put a special offer on, which by the time this video goes live will be ending in about 1 day. The link to the raffle to get this guitar for £5 is in the video description and the first comment. And good luck, everybody. I hope you get this. Well, one of you will. Now, on with the show. Right, this is for the guitar players who want their guitars to shout. Here I am! The Ibanez IC420FM is one of my favourite guitars ever. And just thinking about it makes me smile. It's big, it's bold, and it sounds phenomenal. Ibanez have announced they are now making this budget Iceman model available in cherry Sunburst, and it ticks so many boxes for me. Ooh. You get a flamed maple top on an Akume body, a set Akume neck with a bound Jatoba fretboard, some exquisite block inlays, 22 medium frets, gold hardware, and 2 Super 80 humbuckers. One of the best things about this guitar is that it's going to set you back only around 700 notes, which for an unusually shaped, fantastic quality instrument from Ibanez, I think is a great deal. But I am biased because I love the guitar. In fact, you've probably noted, where is it? It's there. I have this exact model in violin Sunburst. Come on down. There you go. And I've reviewed it, and it is one of my go-to guitars always. So when my good friends at Ibanez announced that they were doing cherry Sunburst, I looked like one of those characters from the cartoons with steam coming out of his ears and his eyes all wide. What? And the tongue, you know, steps out. I was to say, very excited. It's exactly the same guitar as the one I already have, but in the colour that I've always wanted. So, you're probably wondering, if it's so good and it's so me, then why isn't it my pick of the week? It's a good question. Very justified. Well, it didn't get any higher, and any other week it would have got a lot higher than where it currently is in this list. But, having seen the guitar in the flesh, I'm not sure the colours in the photos, which I fell in love with, really reflect what you get when you buy the guitar. The photos show the guitar to be very, very vibrant, whereas the one that I saw in the flesh wasn't so much, and it felt a little bit lukewarm in colour. And that is a terrible reason to not like a guitar, because it's still a great guitar. And it was, and it plays phenomenally, I should say. And, hang on, stay with me on this. Because these Ibanez's are hand-painted, that could have just been this one guitar that I've seen. And if I didn't already own the violin Sunburst, I would have been over the moon with this cherry Sunburst, and it would have absolutely been my pick of the week. And I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be running to my nearest music shop that stocks them to pick one up. What I am trying to say is that Ibanez have made a fantastic guitar, but I can't justify buying a second one of these. If you don't have one of these already, get one. Because the Iceman is a rather weird and wonderful Les Paul alternative, and the body is surprisingly ergonomic, and if, like me, you have big monkey arms, and you love the form factor of this guitar, and if you like Les Pauls but prefer the way an SG kind of sits over there, then you should really take a look at the Ibanez IC420FM in your favourite colour. And for all those reasons, The gasometer is firmly shooting right up to buy it now. Go and get one, they're amazing. Links are in the video description and first comment. Tube tone lovers, hello. Your new gig companion has landed, the Supro Airwave. This 25-watt Class A tube combo is powered by two 6v6 power tubes and a 12AX7 preamp section. It's got a built-in boost, built-in drive, built-in tremolo, and built-in reverb. And here's the fun stuff, it has a built-in cab sim technology from 2 Notes. Basically a Captor X, meaning that you can bypass the 12-inch speaker and record in silence with 12 included cab sims. 6 of these cab sims are vintage Supro cabs and 6 are more modern and varied. Round on the back of the amp, you get 2 XLR outs for going direct to an audio interface or a mixing desk, and a USB-C socket for connecting to your computer, so you can use the Torpedo desktop editing software, or you can also connect your phone via Bluetooth and just use the phone app. Now, in case you are a bit phobic of the technological digital stuff, this amp works without ever needing to connect it to a computer or phone. It's not like a Boss Katana where you go in and deep edit the amp itself. USB and Bluetooth is just for the Captor X kind of bit. You can just come out of the we can play it like a normal amp, but you can just come out of the XLRs and switch between some presets on the front of the amp itself. So, do not panic. You'll be fine, you're safe, you're warm, and you have people who love you. Okay? Good. That's good. The Airwave price is not budget, but it's not out of this world either, compared to some amps that I've played recently. It is sitting around 1,500 notes for me in Europe, and obviously that changes depending on where you are. Check out the flags that are on screen currently. Welcome back, flags. Tone-wise, this is a vintage style amp, so you're going to get some pretty full cleans with some very satisfying crunch straight out of the amp. The music in the official demo is actually very worth taking a listen to. I really enjoyed it. It's very well done and sounds brilliant. It's well written and well played. It's nice music. For me, I might stick it on my running playlist. No. If you're after something that's kind of martially, but not, then this is full of Supro's 60s tone. The whole thing kind of reminds me of the D25 from Rev, which is a much cleaner amp, but has the same 2 Notes technology inside it, or at least something very similar. If you're looking for a new amp, this will be able to cover a lot of ground in home, live, and studio use. The Airwave could indeed be your new best friend. And even though I got a sneak peek at NAMM, I am exploding at the seams with desire to try it out properly. Unsurprisingly, the gasometer flies past add to wish list and sits in the top end of buy it now. I have some high expectations for this amplifier. Pick of the week. Ah, yes. My pick of the week goes to the very much awaited, and I can't believe I'm saying this before I've played GTA 6, successor to the Line 6 Helix, the Line 6 Helix Stadium. That's a mouthful. This is available in both floor and XL floor versions, and this is more than a modeler and multi-effects. It really is. It's a full-on performance workstation. You get a big old touchscreen, a brand new Agura modeling engine, I don't know, and a new hype feature that lets you blend between authentic amp tone and your dream version of it. If you've ever wished for a Helix that could also run your backing tracks, automate your lights, and automate your pedals and things like that, this is it, apparently. Now, unsurprisingly, this has so many features that I cannot possibly cover all of them, or even most of them, in an episode of The Week in Gear. So, I'm going to highlight just some of the top things that I think should be mentioned, and then hopefully we can build on that in a dedicated video at some point. Number 1, that's Agura modeling engine. Line 6 say it's their most realistic amp modeling yet, with all the dynamic feel and responsiveness that we've always hoped for. Okay. Hype Control is number 2. A great name. We all need some hype control in the guitar world. This one is interesting because you can apparently blend between the real amp sound of, let's say, a Plexi and some fantasy version of it. And I have no idea what that means, and I'm curious to hear how it actually works in practice. Showcase automation is a very fancy term for the fact that it's able to run your whole show with backing tracks, MIDI, lighting, and even mixer stuff. And it feels like so much overkill, but in the good kind. The touchscreen interface is big, it's bright, and it's way easier to navigate than previous Helix models, so I believe. I haven't used it myself yet, of course, but it does look promising for even those afflicted with sausagey fingers. All the I/O. Seriously, this thing has so much connectivity, it is BANAS bananas. I think if it plugs in, this thing probably supports it. The XL version even includes dual instrument inputs, like the old Helix, 4 FX loops, SPDIF, and enough control options to make you wonder what you can do with them, or if indeed you're ever going to use them. It's probably one for everybody. Now, there's one feature I touched on that I really want to try out. You can load, if I get this right, if I fully understood this, you can load fully mixed songs into the Helix Stadium, and it will split them into instrument stems, which in layman's terms means it can remove any of the instruments from a song, and you can create backing tracks that you can play along with. And I know there is plenty of software and plugins out there that does this already, but having that built into the unit is a very bright move from Line 6. Now, before you're shouting how many amps and how many effects are there, I know I haven't mentioned that at all, because given that this is an update to the Helix, there are going to be hundreds of amps and effects. So just find out by going to the link wherever the links are. Let's talk price. Pre-orders are open now, starting at around 1,800 notes. No, this is not cheap, but did we really ever think it would be? Line 6 have had to up their game for the successor to the Helix, and on the surface at least it seems that they've done it. I'm impressed, I'm excited. Now bear in mind that the original Helix came out 10 years ago and Line 6 is still supporting it. That hefty price tag seems kind of less hefty if you're into this for the long game. By the way, if you have a rather warm feeling in one of your pockets right now, it's probably not a bodily malfunction. It could just be the gasometer, because my wallet is on fire. But seriously, get that warm feeling checked out. As for this Helix Stadium, I can't wait for another internet round of "this still doesn't sound as good as my tube amp." I'm up for it. Thank you to the wonderful people that support the show on Patreon. Their names are up on screen. Hello everybody! And these people support the show right here on YouTube. Hello to you as well, and thank you so very much. If you want your name up in lights and sung in a comedic way, then click the join button right here on YouTube, become a member, or visit the Patreon link in the video description. It would be lovely to have you. And here is a special thanks to the top tier members. Alinta, Buddha Blue, Boom Shakalaka, Buzzle, Dirk, Doug Paget, Hugh, G, Rection, Yindrik Strelka, Johnny McBadminton, Mike Lute. This prank is officially sponsored by Jason Velch, Andrew Morgan, Gary O'Neill, Josh Tamberg, Man Dude Bro, PQ Deads, Robin Kelly, Sarang Narayan, and Southern Panda 33. Thank you, top tier members. I appreciate you. Quick question, Rob in Kelly, are you Rob in Kelly or are you Robin? Which one is it? Are you in Kelly or is that your name? You don't need to let us know, but I've just always wondered and I had to let you know that. Moving on, if you've got thoughts on this week's gear, let me know in the comments section below. Click the subscribe button and I will make sure that something good happens to you today. Bye!